iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. That's right. And today we have none other than the Cleveland Browns preview. All right, when we begin with Cleveland, there's so many places to begin. Not really. But we're going to talk about the quarterback position. And this is a bit of a mess because you've got Cody Kessler and you've got Deshaun Kaiser and you got Brock Osweiler, who I think very little of. So let's break them down one at a time for you. I don't hate Cody Kessler. I think there are a lot of people who do. Maybe it's his name. Maybe they just think this guy's not very good. But he showed glimmers last year. Against Tennessee, at 336 yards and 2 touchdowns. He showed that he can play well. So I'm not against Cody Kessler. I just think that he's probably a career backup in the NFL, but there's a little upside. Deshaun Kaiser is a rookie from Notre Dame, but the big problem with Kaiser is the more important the game, the worse he played. The closer the game was, the worse he played. He was a disaster. So I hate reading these reports. Kaiser looks great. He's challenging for reps. Well, of course he's getting reps in minicamp. If you can't get Kaiser reps in minicamp, when can you get it? He's a big, tall, strong kid with a big arm. But is he a knucklehead? Maybe. I think he might be. I don't dislike the kid. I'm just saying I wouldn't go crazy for him. I think Kessler starts the year with the job, holds it as long as the Browns play well. As soon as the Browns have a bad game, boom, Kaiser comes right in. Okay? Because Kaiser is the future. Kaiser here is the future. Kessler is not. But you can't start the year with Kaiser, so I don't know what to tell you here. I would avoid them. Brock Osweiler is just disgusting. This was a salary dump. Texans were like, here, please, take him. I beg you. Just get us out of this horrible contract. And so the Browns took him, and they got a pick out of it. So, hey, Browns got a pick. It was worth it. Possibly the best player on the Browns is Isaiah Crowell. So there's a lot to be said for Isaiah Crowell, so let's break it down. First of all, he's a very, very good player. Okay? He has never gotten 200 rushing attempts in a season. I think that happens this year. If he averages, 4.5 yards, the guy should get 1,000 yards rushing this year. I see that in his future. He's pretty good at the goal line. And he's a pretty good running back. I have no problems with him. Even last year, he had 40 receptions, which was a lot for him. I didn't see that happening. Here's my problem with Crowell. Right now, Crowell is going in the late 3rd, early 4th round of leagues. This is a problem because you are paying full value for Crowell. You are paying every last dime for this guy. Is he worth it? Yeah, I don't know. He's good. I like him. I like him in the 4th round, but let me break it to this way. You go to a car dealership. You want to buy a Volvo, okay? And you see the sticker price says $40,000. And you say to the guy, well, what are you going to do for me? And he goes, I'm going to charge you $40,000. That's what Crowell is now. If you get him in the 3rd round, you're paying full value for that car. But let's go back to the Volvo analogy. You go for the Volvo, it's $40,000, and he says, all right, I'll do it for you for $36,000. You say, I got myself some value, I got myself a deal. People love deals. People love deals. Right? So when you get Crowell in the 5th round, you got a steal. 4th round, good deal. 3rd round, no deal. Okay? So that doesn't mean I don't like him, but let's break this down one more step. If you take Crowell in the 3rd round, he better get you 1,000 yards rushing 300 to 400 yards receiving, and 10 touchdowns, right? Anything less than that, it was not worth it. Anything less than that, he was not worth it. That's what you're going to need to do to get Crowell. Okay? Now, speaking of value, Sir Duke Johnson over here might be more value. Why do I say that? Because Duke Johnson was terrible last year, considering people thought that he was going to be better. But he had fewer receptions and fewer receiving yards. He had one touchdown. So I think people might be down on Duke Johnson. So last year when he was going in around 6, you might get him in round 8. Do you know what that is for you? That's value. That's considered value. Right? So getting Duke Johnson in round 8, that's value. Getting Duke Johnson in round 6, not value. I think Duke Johnson, look, all he needs is an Isaiah Crowell injury, and he's going to be a very good player. I like him. Do I love him? No, but I like him a lot. Especially in a PPR league. I mean, he's their version of Danny Woodhead. Take Danny Woodhead in round 5, round 6. Duke Johnson's not that much different. Now, the difference is this. Crowell is going to see way more carries this year. They want to run the ball. They want to run the football. Duke is more of the third down guy. Duke is more of the guy where we're losing. Let's get him out here. So there you have it. Okay? I like Duke Johnson. I don't love him. I like him. All right, wide receiver. Kenny Britt is that guy who comes over. He's the free agent who just does his job well. He's the number 1 receiver, and I'll say de facto number 1 because he's really not a great player, but he's okay. You know, he's like a 60 catch, 850 yards, 6 touchdown guy who is all right, and he's going to take the other team's number 1 cornerback and play, and they're going to play Kenny Britt. So is he special? No. Does he suck? No. Is it a good pickup? Sure. It's not Terrell Pryor. I don't know why they didn't re-sign Pryor. I think that would have been a better hit. I'd much rather Pryor than Kenny Britt. But I guess Pryor wanted too much money. And Britt would take it for a lot less. So, I mean, Britt is fine as your, I guess, 4th receiver, but I'd like him a whole lot more at 5. Corey Coleman is the interesting one to me. I like Corey Coleman a lot. Corey Coleman, to me, is interesting because he has a lot of upside. He was that guy who last year I loved. At drafts, I wanted him. I was targeting him in round 5. And week 2, he was special. 5 receptions, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 targets. Oh yes, baby, Corey Coleman. I was loving life. Till he breaks his hand. And then when he came back, he just didn't seem to come back with the same confidence before he left. So it was a struggle last year because I really wanted Corey Coleman to be good, but he wasn't. So this year, I don't know how I feel about Coleman. I think there's no sure thing. Do I hate him? No. Do I like him? Yes. But does he have his mojo back? Does he have his confidence? This is not a great route runner. Okay? Corey Coleman's just a fast dude, but he's not a great player. He's a good player, but he's not great. So do I want him as my 3rd receiver? No chance. Do I want him as my 4th receiver? Maybe. Sure. Maybe. But I don't think he's better than that. And I'm not going to take him before that. Somebody else will, but not me. Then there's no other real wide receivers here. You got Ricardo Lewis, you got Rashad Higgins, you got a bunch of bums. I mean, really a bunch of bums there for Cleveland. Nothing special. So I want to talk about tight end now. And I want everybody to understand this, and we'll talk about this throughout the year. Tight end is singularly the most difficult position, I believe, in the NFL. Quarterback is very hard. But tight end is maybe harder because not only do you have to go out and catch passes, you have to block. And you need to know the blocking schemes, right? So I just don't know what Njoku can do. David Njoku has all this talent. I love him in dynasty formats. Can he block at the NFL level? Can he run a route yet and be successful? I doubt that. So you may not have heard of this name, but I'm telling you this guy's going to get some play. This guy named Seth the Valve. Seth the Valve is right now, don't laugh, he may have the most catches for the first 8 weeks at tight end, not Njoku. And it's not that Njoku's not a good player. I equate it to the catcher in baseball. A catcher has to learn how to play defense and help the pitcher. Then the catcher has to learn to hit. He's got 2 roles. Tight end has 2 roles as well. The tight end has to block and the tight end has to catch. This is a lot to put on young players. So do I think David Njoku will be good? Yes, I think he'll be very good. I really like him. But I think it's going to take him some time to learn the offense. Now, maybe by week 6 or 7, he'll be 3 or 4 or 5 catches a game. But here's the thing with Njoku. You might draft him this year. The first 3 weeks, he has like 1 catch a week, and you're going to want to cut him. Stop your hand and don't. Don't cut him. Because he's going to get better. He's going to get better as the season goes on, as the years go on. Every week is a better week for a tight end than the week before. They learn more. They understand the nuances of the offense more. It's just they get it. They pick it up. So there you have it with Njoku. I like him, but he could be a little bit of a bust this year. Could be. Why? Because you think he's going to be better than he is, right? You think he's going to be better than he is. And he's not. He's not going to be great at all. Okay? Kicker, they had Cody Parkey, but they brought in this kid named Zane Gonzalez. Zane Gonzalez was a very good kicker in college, and they want him to win the job. Will he win the job? I don't know. He kicked at Arizona State. He was a pretty good kicker. When you draft a kicker, okay, you always give him the benefit of the doubt as opposed to a guy that you pick up in free agency because you wasted a draft pick on this guy. But, I mean, the Browns to me are a weird team. I think they'll be a little bit better than people think. I think they have a good running game with Crowell and Johnson. Their offensive line is much improved. The quarterback situation is a mess. They've got 2 decent wideouts and they got a young tight end. They have pieces in place to be good in a short time. If David Njoku learns how to run his route tree and block, he could be very good. If Corey Coleman can get the confidence he had the early part of last year, he can be very good. If Crowell gets the football and can get 4.5 yards a carry, he'll get 1,000 yards. If Deshaun Kaiser figures it out and stops trying to do too much at the end of the game, he can be successful. Can Myles Garrett, the number 1 pick in the draft, cause some havoc and get 10 sacks? Can Jabril Peppers make some blitzes there and sack the quarterback? Can Carl Nassib play better? Can Danny Shelton and Caleb Brantley get pressure on the quarterback? Can Jamie Collins, who came over last year in a trade from the Patriots, do the job and be worth the money? There are a lot of unanswered questions with the Browns, but I really do like Hugh Jackson. And more importantly, I think the players like Hugh Jackson. And there's something to be said for that. Players if they like coaches, they play hard for them. And that's something you've got to say about Hugh Jackson. The team didn't do very well last year, but they never quit on him. That's a really sensational thing to say. It really is. Because when your team quits on you and they give up, it's awful. But I really respect the Browns because I feel like they never quit last year. They never quit. There were plenty of times when they could have quit, and maybe they should have quit, but they never did. And for that, I respect them. And for that, I admire them. I really do. Okay? So there's a lot to be said for the Browns in terms of, what being a good young team. So the last thing I want to cover is the Browns' playoff schedule. The Browns play Green Bay in Week 14 at home, Baltimore in Week 15, and Chicago in Week 16. Yeah, it's not very good. I mean, Green Bay, really? Green Bay is going to light them up. Baltimore, that could be a little bit high-scoring game. It also could be an ugly one. And Chicago, in the cold, I mean, maybe I like Isaiah Crowell, but this is not a great team. This is a team where I get Crowell, Coleman, and then I begrudgingly draft anybody else. Maybe Duke Johnson, maybe Njoku, but I don't ever feel really good about it. I just don't. Because they're the Browns. But they're on the rise. They are better than what they were last year, and they should be able to win 3 to 5 games. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but after last year, it's a ton. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to playffwc.com. When you get there, check out our draft boards, right? Check out what's going on and check out, get to the draft lobby and find yourself a league. Go find yourself a league. Whether it's a starter league or a draft and go, which is our version of the best ball, or a world championship main event team, or an online championship, come join what we're doing. It's great, okay? Best payouts in the business, best customer service, amazing draft experience. I was just in the draft room recently. Very easy to use. Terrific, terrific product. And also check out scoutfantasy.com. Enter the promo code Roto. Pay for 1 month, get 2 more for free. Be part of the Scout Army. Be part of what we're doing at Scout. And be around winners. Be around winners who love the game and want to see you do well. I mean, seriously, our friend Casey, Y2 Casey, just killed it in MMA. Fuego Steve has been on fire. You can catch these guys in our premium message boards for the members forums, right? In our members forums, they're on the message boards. Go check out what they're doing. It's great stuff. All right, guys. Appreciate you listening. We're back tomorrow with more. Have a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!